So number one, I want to tell you about the importance of minerals and trace elements, their role in the body, why we need to supplement with them, and how to access. So a couple of things first. Okay, so minerals and trace elements, they're an essential part of our physiological functioning. Number one, our body can't manufacture minerals and trace elements, nor can it manufacture vitamins or essential fatty acids. So we need to get them from an external source. And in an ideal world, we should be able to get them from our foods. But unfortunately, due to soil degradation and over-harvesting, processing, storage, freezing, our food is degraded to the point where it's not really of the calibre and the quality that it should be. So we do absolutely need to top up. So my experience 21 years ago when I first took this product, and I had been practicing as a classical homeopath for 15 years up until that time, and I had an experience with this product, and I noticed within 36 hours a change in my energy, my vitality and my well-being. And I feel it just made all those connections in my body. Yes, I was eating well, but in spite of eating well, even though they say organic fruit and vegetable has perhaps only 12 to 14 minerals, it doesn't have the insecticides and the pesticides and all the other crap in it, but it doesn't necessarily have that full spectrum of minerals and trace elements. In fact, it's suggested we need between 60 and 80 different minerals and trace elements every single day. So if you're not manufacturing them, you need to get them from an external source. And if not in the soil, because maximising agricultural practices maximises the yield out of the soil, and superphosphate is the main fertiliser that agriculture uses. But that contains how many minerals? 3. Nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. But we need so many more on a daily basis. Our body doesn't have a great capacity to store the minerals. So minerals are like the spark plug. We can store some, and that's like the battery. But if your battery is empty and you've got no spark, you haven't got any vitality. So what I experienced was my energy was better, I felt I was waking better in the morning, my energy was lasting throughout the day, I didn't have that drop in the afternoon which so many people experience, and so it just added to my value of health and well-being. So that's a personal experience, and certainly over the years, 35 years in practice and 21 years prescribing this product, I've seen thousands of amazing results and also heard of so many other beneficial results from other people as well. So a couple of key things I want to touch on. What role do minerals have? Well, they form connective tissue, muscles, bone, teeth. They have a role in nerve production, enzyme production, neurotransmitters, the serotonin, melatonin, all these neurotransmitters require minerals and trace elements for their formulation and their manufacture. Antioxidants will also utilise minerals and trace elements in their structure, and one of them, glutathione and superoxide dismutase, these need minerals, and these are our body's own antioxidants that are manufactured. But if we're not getting in the body the raw ingredients, how can we defend ourselves from those rogue cells, from the insults and assaults in our environmental the environmental stresses and the toxins? So our body needs to be well sourced with minerals and trace elements to support our normal physiological functioning. And if you're eating every day, you need to top up every day because of what you're missing out on. So let's go through a few key things. And some people only think, well, I'll just take my calcium, my magnesium, they're some of the common ones, or zinc, right? But we need 60 to 80 every single day. I'm just going to touch on a few, like calcium. Okay, yes, we do need calcium. Bones, connective tissue, teeth, we know that's important. We know phosphorus is important, again, for bones and for blood clotting factors. We need iodine, which is more of a micro one for your thyroid function. We need zinc for hormones, for wound healing. In fact, zinc has over 300 different roles to play. We need iron particularly because that's so important for our blood, and that's important for our oxygen carrying. If that iron is very, very poor. So it's like equivalent to like chewing on a chunk of iron, which is inorganic, right? And our ability to absorb an inorganic mineral is quite low. That's why when people do supplement with iron, if they're anemic, for example, they end up with very black stools and they're constipated because the bioavailability is really, really poor. So we need a highly bioavailable preparation. That's what you'll get in our natural mineral drink. We need sodium because that's important in electrolyte balance and your fluid. We need potassium for heart and rhythm function. We need selenium as a micro trace element, so that's an antioxidant. We need silica for hair, skin, and eye. So the list goes on and on and on. We need some boron because that's been shown to help in your bones and also prevent and reduce the risk of osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. So the list goes on and on. And so what I suppose the emphasis I want to place today is what you're getting with your natural mineral drink is a broad spectrum of minerals and trace elements. So minerals, the macro ones, the trace elements we need in a lesser quantity, but we still need them. They're really, really vital for functioning. And we need that number, that gross number of 60 to 80 every single day, not just a few. So we're not going to discriminate and favour just those few key minerals. We need to get a bit of everything. So it was back in, I think I've got some notes here, back in 1932 it was demonstrated that the Australians, and so that's mainly from over-harvesting. And actually in the World Summit, Environmental Summit in Rio in 1992, it said that the US soil was 85% depleted. And of course we have very similar agricultural techniques here in Australia. So those facts are universal, in fact, around the world. So we need to absolutely top up, and I just want to differentiate between the inorganic minerals and the organic ones. So inorganic is like your metals, poorly absorbed. The organic ones are mainly from food sources. And this product is actually sourced from the Naidati Moor, which is a moor in Austria. It's a pristine area encased in granite rock, so it's impervious to lots of pollution and so forth. And it's basically an incredibly rich biomass of minerals and trace elements developed over millennia, centuries, millions of years, where plants have degraded and created this very rich biomass, or sludge if you like, which is bioavailable. And the important thing too, these minerals in this preparation are not only organic, but they're liquid, they're colloidal, they're suspended in solution, they're ionic, so that means they're negatively charged. And the lining of the bowel wall has a positive charge. So this allows for negative and positive obviously attract really effectively. This allows for really, really quick absorption. And some people will notice incredibly quickly. I remember a story years ago where someone was visiting a friend of theirs and he'd had a stroke. She hadn't met him for a number of years, and she had some of the natural mineral drink in her bag, and she gave him some. And she noticed within minutes, and he noticed too, that there was this connection that was made. The cells were communicating with each other. The neurological input was there. Because of the quick absorption, because of the micro size, the results sometimes can be extraordinarily fast. And so he was actually more articulate. He found that he was able to think better, and this was ongoing as he continued to use the product, got some improvements. So I want to share with you some of those other benefits. So for me personally, it was definitely energy. Some people find their cravings go. You know, sugar cravings. A lot of people have sugar cravings out there, and that's often mineral deficiencies, but particularly perhaps their chromium, and chromium will help stabilise your blood sugar. So if you've got issues around energy and blood sugar, definitely this can help. I see a lot of kids with health challenges, whether it's behavioural issues, ADD, ODD, the oppositional defiant disorder, kids in the autism spectrum disorders as well. And so the minerals are really key to support that. Yes, there are other products as well, but this is certainly a key one. People with anxiety and depression, this is often, even though it's a mental expression, it's actually oftentimes a physical illness. Of course, if there's trauma in one's life, one may experience anxiety and depression and grief and post-traumatic stress disorders as well. But a lot of these things also have an organic, corporeal, that is a physical basis to them that people are actually just lacking in the minerals. So topping that up and supporting people with their health and well-being, you can see an improvement in mental health, anxiety, depression and so forth. Gut health, you know, we see a lot of people with small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, candidiasis, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic inflammatory bowel diseases. So minerals have a role to play. Yes, your complementary products would be your probiotics there. Even anorexics has shown that the zinc and magnesium can be very deficient in those patients. So topping up with a broad spectrum colloidal mineral supplement would be great. The kids and the dogs that eat dirt or pica and pick things off the, you know, paint off the wall and wallpaper and so forth. The craving for indigestibles or chalk and things like that. So we'll often see that disappear when you add your natural mineral drink to this as well. Alzheimer's patients, there's a lot of studies showing that the Alzheimer's patients are nutritionally deficient, they're chronically dehydrated, they don't have enough of the essential fatty acids like coconut oil and so forth. So when you supplement, and this was a case with, not that she had dementia, but my wife's grandmother, who was in a nursing home, and Vivian gave her some mineral drink, and like she hadn't walked for years, and she got up and out of bed and started walking. It's like, you know, everything started to work better when she was on the minerals. Anemia and blood disorders, even though it's not high in iron, but it's got a lot of cofactors to support the absorption of iron. So a lot of people find the spectrum of minerals and trace elements provided by our natural mineral drink will support a raise in their iron levels, because you're supporting the absorption and digestion of so many other minerals and trace elements as well, because we need molybdenum to support iron absorption as well. So look, I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight. You know, adults, it's 10 mils twice a day. Children, for every year of age, like a 3-year-old, 3 mils a day. 1-year-old, 1 mil a day. You know, 6 months of age, you know, half a mil a day. And therapeutically, if some people are really challenged with some significant health issues, they might need to take 10 mils 3 times a day until they're able to build up that reserve of minerals and trace elements, and then they can go back to their maintenance dose of 10 mils twice a day. So in conclusion, we do need to top up and supplement with minerals and trace elements, not just your favourite ones. You know, we hear a lot of people, I see in my practice, a lot of people just on calcium or magnesium iron. We need them all, okay? We won't discriminate. Let's embrace them all and take that in a solution like this. You want to obviously embrace a holistic lifestyle and health, and a wholesome diet, adequate hydration, good nutrition, an alkaline type of diet, reducing the allergens. For a lot of people it could be, you know, gluten and sugars and so forth. Exercise, both cardiac and strength training is really important, and stretching. So this forms a part of a holistic solution to enhance your health and well-being. Minerals form one part, and I think that is the foundation for our health and well-being, but we also need vitamins, and we also need essential fatty acids. So minerals, your natural mineral drink, your vitamins, it could be your adult multivitamin, or your adult multivitamin plus botanicals or essentials for the woman of reproductive age, and your EFA krill. So I think if you have those 3 products, you're going a long way to support your health and well-being. It's going to create a really good foundation for ongoing health and well-being, reduce the risk of chronic diseases and so forth. But if you are unwell, if you do have some health challenges, well, embracing that and a therapeutic strategy would absolutely be categorically beneficial for you. So share this within your private groups. Drop a 10, because I think this is a 10 out of 10 product, in the comments. Let me know if you need any support or help in accessing the product, but as this is broadcast in a secret group, share this to your private groups. Special